Anthony Joshua, rumored opponent if he doesn't face undefeated WBC American Heavyweight Champion Deontay Wilder. He's being rumored and linked to former undisputed Cruiserweight champion Oleksandr Usyk. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, it's been widely rumored, and Eddie Hearn has been stating that if Anthony Joshua doesn't get the fight with WBC undefeated heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder, that he will fight. It's a possibility that he could face former undisputed cruiserweight champ Oleksandr Usyk should he be successful in his upcoming fight May 17th against Carlos Takam, right? Now, here are my thoughts on this. You know, I see a lot of people mentioning Oleksandr Usyk as possible opponents, and people feel like Oleksandr Usyk will be successful at the heavyweight division. He's yet to fight at the heavyweight division. His fight with Carlos Takam, May 17th, is going to be his first fight, stepping over the 200-pound threshold. So a lot of people are high on him due to the fact that he became undisputed. You know, he won the World Boxing Super Series tournament. He's undisputed. You know, he's undefeated. You know, he beat the likes of Tony Bellew his last fight. But my thing is this, you know, we saw Tony Bellew have much success. I had Tony Bellew winning majority of that fight easy. I had Tony Bellew winning that fight easy. And then with that said, you know, his size overwhelmed Tony Bellew, because Tony Bellew was a small cruiserweight. He's really a light heavyweight who went up to cruiserweight and heavyweight, right, to take on David Haye. He saw things in David Haye he felt like he could exploit, and that's why Tony Bellew went up to heavyweight to face David Haye. With that said, you know, he took on Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk's size became an issue for Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew started to wear down, trying to stay away from Oleksandr Usyk. He gassed out. You know, he used a lot of energy trying to stay away from him as well as counter, but he was countering and boxing beautifully and staying away. But his size took a toll, the pressure took a toll, and Tony Bellew ended up getting knocked out brutally. With that said, you know, a lot of people are high on Oleksandr Usyk, you know, due to the fact that sometimes people are just prisoners at the moment. And now they're claiming that, you know, Oleksandr Usyk could become champion at the heavyweight division. Mainly Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is Oleksandr Usyk partial, his promoter. He's part of his promoter, you know. He shares those duties with Oleksandr Usyk's original team. So with that said, you know, there's rumors that Oleksandr Usyk could possibly face Anthony Joshua should Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder fight not come to fruition. You know, and I see a lot of people actually feeling like Oleksandr Usyk will have a shot. I don't give him a shot to beat Anthony Joshua. Oleksandr Usyk cannot beat Anthony Joshua. That is fool's gold, okay? Anthony Joshua is too big, too strong, and he has too much of boxing ability that he will overcome Oleksandr Usyk, and he will offset anything Oleksandr Usyk does. Okay, a lot of people feel like Oleksandr Usyk, he had boxing ability, okay? But just like it's going to be like the Tony Bellew fight with Oleksandr Usyk, just in reverse. Eventually, Anthony Joshua's just going to cut the ring off. He's just going to be too big, too strong. He's going to knock him out, and then people are going to scream that Oleksandr Usyk was too small. So I'm not looking forward to that fight. We've seen the likes of Evander Holyfield come up from cruiserweight and make his heavyweight presence felt. You know, he became a Hall of Famer. He's more known for being a heavyweight than he is a cruiserweight. Most people don't even realize that he was probably the greatest cruiserweight to ever step foot in the ring. You understand? Most people remember him for the Mike Tyson situation, for the Lennox Lewis's, for the Riddick Bowe fights. You understand? A lot of people don't even remember that Evander Holyfield is probably the greatest cruiserweight to ever step through the ropes, to ever grace the ring. You understand? So with that said, a lot of people compare Oleksandr Usyk and his accomplishments to that of Evander Holyfield's accomplishments. You know, I just think that there's two different animals at this point in time. I think that Oleksandr Usyk is not comparable to Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield was special. You got to be special to go up in weight, step over the that threshold of heavyweight and be successful. And I just don't see it. You know, it's great that people want to compare Oleksandr Usyk to Evander Holyfield and feel like Oleksandr Usyk has the skill set, you know, to offset Anthony Joshua and beat Anthony Joshua. I don't. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not drinking the tea. Anthony Joshua is going to knock Oleksandr Usyk out. It's not going to be a close fight, in my opinion. I think maybe Oleksandr Usyk may have a little bit of success in the first round or two, you know, but eventually Anthony Joshua's size and his boxing ability. See, Anthony Joshua does have boxing ability, you understand? And he has the size. So it's just going to be the Tony Bellew, Oleksandr Usyk fight in reverse. Instead of Anthony Joshua gassing out and the pressure getting to Anthony Joshua, it's going to be Oleksandr Usyk, a la how Oleksandr Usyk did with Tony Bellew. So with that said, I don't see Oleksandr Usyk having any success except for, you know, the first couple of feeling out rounds for Anthony Joshua. Outside of that, I don't see him having any success. I think it's fool's gold. Oleksandr Usyk cannot compete with Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, or Luis Ortiz. I don't even think that he could compete with Dillian Whyte. I think that's a stretch, right? But seeing as though he's in closer size with Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte at times have lapses on defense, you know, so, you know, he has more of a shot when it comes to Dillian Whyte. But, you know, Luis Ortiz is technically sound. I don't see that happening with his boxing ability, you know, and he's a southpaw. So I think that that would be a good fight for Oleksandr Usyk, but again, I don't think that he will be able to overcome the power of Luis Ortiz, right? So Dillian Whyte doesn't have the power of Luis Ortiz, but he has size, and Dillian Whyte has been competing at the heavyweight division. He knows what it is. So I still would favor Dillian Whyte to come out victorious, but that's his greatest chance to get a meaningful victory over a heavyweight would be Dillian Whyte, and I still don't think he could do so. I don't think he could beat Luis Ortiz. I definitely don't think he could beat Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, or Anthony Joshua. So naming him and linking him together with Anthony Joshua is all fool's gold. Anthony Joshua's going to beat him, and then you're going to see a lot of excuses. A lot of people are going to say that he was just way too small, right? I don't like that. You know, I don't like when people do things like that. A guy moves up a la Mikey Garcia with Errol Spence. They don't want to give the guy all the credit. So these guys, so people continue to link Oleksandr Usyk and his accomplishments down cruiserweight now, you know, and they continue to link him with the upper echelons of the heavyweight division. And I don't think that's correct. I think that I don't think he could compete with them, point blank and period. So this fight with Carlos Takam, May 17th, is going to show us a lot because Carlos Takam is durable. He's a rough, rugged fighter. He's not the upper echelon. He's a C-level, D-level type of fighter, but he'll give you a rough fight as he did with Anthony Joshua. And the reason he gave Anthony Joshua a tough fight was due to the fact that Anthony Joshua started gassing in the fight. Outside of that, I didn't think, and a lot of people complaining, they thought that the Joshua fight with Takam was stopped early. It didn't matter to me due to the fact that, you know, I didn't see him winning that fight even if it went to the 12th round anyway, you know, but most people just felt like he would have a chance to, you know, anything can happen in the sport of boxing, and seeing as though Joshua was gassing, people thought he had a puncher's chance. I didn't give him a puncher's chance. So he's just a rough, rugged type of fighter. You know, Oleksandr Usyk, you know, another fighter, JARRELL Big Baby Miller. I don't think he would stand a chance to beat him either. You understand? His size, his weight. I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I like Oleksandr Usyk as a cruiserweight, you know, but you have to be somewhat very special to do the same things up at heavyweight. So let's see how this plays out. But I don't think that Oleksandr Usyk, and I think that he should stop being linked to Anthony Joshua because he can't compete with Anthony Joshua. I think that he needs to take on the likes of Carlos Takam, you know, take on the likes of Alexander Povetkin, and then face a Dillian Whyte if possible, and then try to work your way up somewhere 4 or 5 fights down the line. But to fight Anthony Joshua next after Carlos Takam, should he be successful against Carlos Takam, is a huge mistake in my eyes. But let's see what happens. But that's all I got for y'all, man. This your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the Empress. Much love.